Yo, when I don't play, straight up for the 00 shot. I ain't for on the business. Check it out, come on, back. Yeah, been on vacation for a minute, but now we back to get all up in it. Niggas got something to say? Do what? We on fine. Come see us. What? Yo, you ain't gotta look hard to see me. You still wanna be me. Continuation like a genie, you gay ass PC. My thoughts is like a hairpin trigger, and I squeeze till it's empty. And my hit list is lengthy, so don't tempt me. Numero uno be you fake jakes. Talk behind my back and call me disgrace. But when I see you in the streets, you like Sam Jack and wanna negotiate. Brothers' heads is like blow up dolls, and it's time to deflate. Snakes try to infiltrate the beards of the sons of Jake. I kill that noise with a silence over 3-8. Noose around the neck for the rest of you fakes. I got no time for games, effeminate lanes, venomous dames. You wanna get slain? Encounter my folks, think you got it, then walk the tightrope. Go for broke, fall off and get smoked. Anyone else that approaches, I play you out like brooches with two options. Either get sprayed or I can get the stomping.
Yeah, hit the streets, we equipped and don't play. Killing all these corners and curves of LA. We ain't hard to find, nigga, at night or all day. It's the S-O-J. When we hit the streets, we equipped and don't play. Killing all these corners and curves of LA. We ain't hard to find, nigga, at night or all day. It's the S-O-J.
Since the SOJ is known for precision, we gleam and glisten, foes froze to listen. Living in the matrix, nose, jaws, and facelifts, laced with tasteless rings, chains, and bracelets. Niggas born with more game than Nate Smith. Wasted and souls disposed when they slip. As the days drift, they walk dead and stay stiff. Basement, the sound, and sons to J Spear, stay dip. And leather and spikes took the word. Downtown, even a back to the burbs. Y'all heard we burn, cause man, we gets busy. Talking about Christ's works and who is he? Y'all ain't feeling as though we revealing this. Looking all strange, deranged like you're killing us. Sticks and stones break bones, but words shatter. Vaporize souls and all earthly matter.
We hit the streets, we equipped and don't play. Killing all these corners and curves of LA. We ain't hard to find, nigga, at night or all day. It's the S-O-J. When we hit the streets, we equipped and don't play. Killing all these corners and curves of LA. We ain't hard to find, nigga, at night or all day. It's the S-O-J.
We be the children of the Exodus, Genesis, Leviticus. Hideous conditions was written and it's scripted in the pyramids. Totally ridiculous how y'all forgetting it. Following tradition is never ever personal. Verdict though is y'all is more blind than verticals. Corners we be working those, hurting them emotions with a versatile flow. It's like a double-edged sword in the hand of a pro.
Yo, we coming. Used to wear garments that was stunning. Had heathens running, kingdoms crumbling. It's like we was running backs but kept fumbling. Learning the ways of the wicked, unclean and sick with it. Rather than the kings and queens we was chose to be depicted. Now watch me flip it. How the hell can you fight over turf? We used to rule the earth. I was destined from birth to spit this. Pronounce a death to the foolish nation and the rest
we
of
with this. We equipped and don't play. Killing all these corners and curves of LA. We ain't hard to find, nigga, at night or all day. It's the S-O-J. When we hit the streets, we equipped and don't play. Killing all these corners and curves of LA. We ain't hard to find, nigga, at night or all day. It's the S-O-J.
Not on plate. Not on plate. Not on plate. Not on plate. Not on plate.
We back. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you're outside, it's your brother IQAhmath. I acquire first name IQ is all the same. You've reached DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. If you've been around, you know what I've been putting down. If you've not, don't get too close because you might get shot. Shalom to the family, man. Shabbat shalom, man. Missed y'all. You know, last week we didn't go live. We was out there camping, enjoying our tabernacles. All praise to the Most High. I had a beautiful time. And prayerfully everybody else did as well. But the world still continues to spin. We got to keep up, catch up. Prayerfully, everybody solid on the Shabbat, man. Salute to the fam in the house, man. Greetings, salutations, and Shabbat Shalom and Shah Shabbat to the family that's in the house. Got my brother Ron in the house. Shalom to you. Rosemarie all the way in London. Shalom to you. As some of the sisters from London came out here and enjoyed Tabernacles with us. Shalom to y'all sisters. For sure that came out and made it. Kohaf, shalom to you, good brother. Naquab, shalom, Sabnanak, Shalak, shalom, shalom. My brother Hosea, man, shalom and Shabbat shalom to you and the brethren out there in Jamaica, man. Shalom to you, good brother. The house of Byron, man, shalom to y'all. All praises. Sister Catherine in the house, shalom, shalom. And everybody else is going to be joining in or hasn't tapped in yet, hasn't put forth a greeting or a salutation to the saints. Shalom to you. If you're catching up on this on the back end, shalom to you, right? I know for sure, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but the shadow ban on the channel is in full effect. So we need y'all participation. Make sure you wipe your feet, hit that like button. Let's fight back against the beast system, man. Let it be known, man, that you are enjoying the content over here. You're willing to share it. You're willing to notify others, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their friend. You dig what I'm saying? That's what we got to do right now. Because how do I know? I didn't even get notified. I'm checking my phone just to see if I got notified for today's episode, and nothing. So, and I've seen that over the past couple of weeks, people telling me they're not getting notified. So make sure you check your notifications. Make sure you see what's happening, so you can stay aboard. YouTube, I guess, was praying that our voices over here at MOTC would be quiet since we didn't go live or have any content go up last week due to Tabernacle. So they figured, oh, finally they're quiet. Let's shut it down. Let's not promote their information and the wisdom and the knowledge that comes from the channel. No. We took a break for our Tabernacle feast, and we're back. All right. So do your brother solid. Make sure you're doing everything you can to support the channel. All right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Well, let's get to it. I don't have a lot of time today, so I know I say that a lot, but for real this time, got engagements we got to get to. So let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. I want to start off with a few scriptures as normal, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with some of the events that's current, as they say. All right. Let's start off. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra because there's a lot going on, right? As you see in the title, the No Kings protests are jumping off. Here they are being rebellious again. What's going on with the sharing? Why is this thing not sharing? Hold on, y'all. See, there we go. Satan already saying, damn it, they're back. Damn it, he's back. He's back. That's right. Non-stop. 2nd Ezra 9. Let's see if it shares now. Okay, boom. All right. So 2nd Ezra 9, right? And some else said, man, we heard the scripture. We know. Guess what? You're gonna hear it until Yahweh Shah comes. Why? Because it's relevant. Why? Because that's how we understand the words of the Most High. Listen, if Israel got it right the first time, if we only needed to hear things once, we'd have been up out of here. We wouldn't have had to travel 40 years in the wilderness, rehearsing and learning and get a greater understanding about the laws and the commandments. The scriptures say, man, our clothes didn't even wilt or get ruined. Paraphrasing, marking our footsteps, constantly going in circles. Why? Because we constantly had to get things over and over again. The best form of learning is repetition. Practice makes perfect. You understand? So don't get too vain in your knowledge and get too vain in your understanding to say, oh, yeah, I heard that one. I know that scripture already. Yeah. Guess what? That's how you understand the scripture. Look at this, Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So those that are of full age, maturity of understanding and wisdom and knowledge, understanding, counsel, right? These are the ones who's going to start to understand doctrine. This isn't made for babes. Babes start from the milk, right? That's why even Hebrews, the 5th chapter, 12th verse tells us that we can't eat from the meat. You got to get the milk first. So as babes, novices of the scriptures, we get the milk first. And then once you're drawing from the breast, once you're getting on to that milk and you're drawing from the breast, you're getting the sincere milk of the word. Now your understanding is going to start growing, right? Now it says in verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. A precept is a command or an instruction. So once we put a command or instruction or a book of commands and a book of lines and instructions together, then we formulate more understanding. So obviously we get precept or commandment of understanding in Psalms, and it may draw us to Isaiah. Isaiah may draw us to Ezekiel. Ezekiel may draw us to Zephaniah. Zephaniah may draw us to Paul, to First Peter. All those things, here a little, there a little, right? And we have to be paying attention line upon line. So we can't let it one jot nor one tittle go without examination. That's how we bring understanding to the table. Now look at this verse 28. It says, for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. So number one, it says stammering lips. What's stammering lips? That's meaning like someone who stutters or repeats themselves a lot. Let me tell you. You understand? That's repetition. And it says, and another tongue. So obviously, yes, we're going to receive the word in different languages. Due to our captivities in the diaspora, we're going to get the word through different tongues that aren't native to us. So the Most High can speak to his people. But how is it going to come? Stammering lips. So repetition, hearing things over and over again, trying to get it out to bring forth understanding. That's how the Most High brings it. All right. So 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. This is the ongoing trend that everybody is understanding now. You see it from mainstream media, podcasters, talking heads on the news channels. Everybody is talking about, damn, there's a lot of things going on that kind of reminiscent of the Bible. Last days type things is going on. Weird stuff is happening. They talking about everything from aliens to wars to you name it. Everybody is now kind of getting off of the plantation of the drone type thinking of everything is great, America's forever, and all this other stuff, right? No. People are starting to question the existence of how long will America still be standing? How long can this world still exist? From the pollution, the destruction of the earth and its elements and the minerals, and how long will the food exist? How long can we keep sucking in poison air and the water systems? And how long are we going to keep going with all these earthquakes and volcanoes? Let alone the warfare, the civil warfare that's jumping up. All of those things, people are starting to question and say, damn, are we in the last days? Like, what's going on? Things ain't the same no more. From the economic standpoint, people are sitting back saying, I ain't been in this position in a long time, if not ever. People are starting to question and starting to say, oh, is this the time the highest is going to begin to visit the world which he made? That's what we're sitting back saying as believers in this word, as believers of the truth. We're all saying we know the times. We're saying, well, when is it going to be over? The same way that the disciples were asking Christ on the Mount of Olives, and they're saying, is this the end of the world? When you're going to come back and visit the world, what should we be looking for? And he ran down all of the various prophecies and things that was going to happen. We'll look at those in a minute. He ran it down to him because everybody's looking towards the end. Nobody's really talking about there's going to be an eternity here on earth, and everything's going to continue on the way it's always been. Everything that's leading up to, from the scientists, biologists, everybody saying, hey, this ain't gonna last too much longer. If we keep going this way, the world's gonna be overpopulated. Regardless if it's prophetic or not, regardless if it's biblically based or not, they're utilizing all different algorithms to say that this thing ain't gonna last forever. Everything's not gonna continue on the way that it is. But we are paying attention to these particular things because this is what the creator of heaven, earth, and all that in them is said, that this is the blueprint that's going to lay down to when the shifting of the guard is going to happen. The end of Esau's world and the beginning of it that follow with it. The children of Jacob, as it says in 2 Ezra 6 and 9, Esau's the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. This is what we're waiting on. And the Lord said, well, when you start seeing these particular signs and wonders and you start seeing these things come to pass, then you're going to know it's the beginning of the end. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So what are we seeing now? This is the second time, let alone we've been seeing protests all throughout the earth, right? If you look it up, you can see how many protests have there been in 2025. You'll see globally protests all over the place. You can look up statistics and say how many protests and riots have happened within the last 4 or 5 years, and you'll see that all of them increase. You just seen what was going on over there. What was it in wasn't India? Oh man, it's escaping me. But they just had like big uproars over there in was it India? I forgot where it was. But over there in Indonesia, you know, they had big uproars. People rioted against the government. The youth movement was going on over there. You're seeing it here, the No Kings protest now. You know, Esau and the divided kingdom of America right now is going at it red against blue. They constantly talking about how the black gangbangers is ruining their communities, which is true, and making threats to the rest of the quote unquote civilian societies. But we've got a red against blue, man, that's destroying a whole country. It ain't got nothing to do with a flag in your left pocket or your right pocket. It ain't got nothing to do with you trolling and hanging out on the corners and selling dope. It's got everything to do with white collar crime, white nationalism, a system based upon oppression, old demons grasping on and holding on to power, refusing to let go. The House of Byron, I haven't got a chance to see that Mitch McConnell? I got to see him. I heard he done fell out walking down the hallways. He glitched out before, standing before the public, getting ready to make a speech. He glitched out. I mean, these old demons, man, pulling slow Biden moves all over the place. They refuse to let go of power, man. They can barely walk 2 feet without fumbling and stumbling all over the place, but they still want to hold on to that power. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I got to see that. I didn't see the ones you did, but I know it's going viral all over the place. There you go. There you go. Let me get this.
And staying over at the Capitol here, we are working to find out how Senator Mitch McConnell is doing after the Kentucky Republican fell earlier in the hallway of the Senate office building. All of that caught on camera as the 83-year-old who was en route to the Capitol for votes grabbed an aide's arm seconds before he went down. McConnell, who announced...
Excuse me, Senator? My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping
them? Oh, man. Sleep at the switch, Mitch. Sleep at the switch, Mitch. Good Lord. I mean, and these are the dudes out here dictating policy, declaring wars, employing, and enforcing economic depressions on the world. Look at this. And got the damn Negro over here holding him up, man. Good old Uncle Ben or whoever this guy is, you know. Need a damn nigga to hold his hand up, to hold him up. Boy, give me your arm so I can walk. Look at it. And I didn't even mention the government shutdown. We're already 15 days in. No end of that in sight. Hundreds of thousands furloughed, laid off, or fired. Well, good Lord. This thing is over.
Excuse me, Senator? My name is Stella. I want to ask...
Shit. Now that the press is here, yeah, don't hold me. I got it. I can't appear weak. Can't appear weak. Let me go, nigga.
My name is Stella. I want to ask...
You can barely hold up.
Do you support ICE taking working people off the streets kidnapping them.
Boy, help me. Good Lord. That's the future of America right there, man. That's the future of America. Done. Look, another nigga got to help him out. Look at it. That's the future of America. There you go. Look, Mitch might have had a few too many. Or maybe that coke at the White House, slow Biden and them left was a little too good. Who knows? But man, this dude then glitched out before in public. I mean, he needs to be sat down and retired somewhere. But Esau will not let go of that power. They're gonna hold it all the way to the end, right? But this is leading to the uproars of the people in the world. Now we're gonna fully, and like you said, we're gonna well understand that the Most High spake of those things. Getting back to 2 Ezra 9 verse 4. Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So all good things must come to an end, as they say, right? The run that Greece had, they ended up faltering. The run that Rome had, they ended up faltering. All of the kingdoms that Esau has been establishing, they all have an end. Babylon had an end, Assyria had an end, Egypt had an end. And all of them thought that their empires were going to last forever. They thought that they were going to be the ruling power, the elite forever. Assyria, you name it. Pass it on down the line. Great Britain, France, Germany. And now the little horn, as spoken of Revelation 17, has popped its ugly head out for the last 200 and almost 50 years of existence. What did they just had? They just had the so-called birthday of America, 1776. Next year should be 250 years, I believe. Right? It's going to have an end. If you're looking for any signs and wonders, just look at Sleep at the Switch Mitch, as he just double back and blue 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 blue. Verse 6, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works. So, yeah, the Most High showed plain powerful works in the beginning, right? And in the end, there's going to be effects and signs that we're going to see that we have to be paying attention for. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. So based upon your belief is now going to strengthen your faith. Your faith now is going to make you act upon those faiths by committing to working your faith. Your works of faith are going to show you by your diligence in keeping the laws and the commandments, being an example to the flock. For the men, going out teaching, whether you're online, whether you're out on the streets, whether you're just hand to hand in conversation, trying to work off your salvation with fear and trembling. You know, the scriptures say that he that saveth a sinner from his error of his ways covereth the multitude of sins. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm indebted to the Most High. I'm trying to clean my credit up with him. You know what that means? That means that my multitude of sins, that's how you work it off. How do I work off my debts? I got to try to get sinners to repent so that I can be found worthy that the Most High says, hey, you know what? I see that debt that you owe, man. I'll wipe that off. You're helping some stay on the path. Hey, you didn't change this person's life. Now they repented to me. Now they're seeking me even more. That's what we got to do. That's how we employ our faith. Our faith by standing up in the face of evil and denouncing it. That's works, right? Telling your job, hey, I need my Sabbath off. I can't do that. That's faith. That's works, right? All of those things. Now, verse 8, it says, those of us, knowing what's coming down the pipeline, man, and some of us, you can't imagine, I can't imagine, because the scriptures say that it's going to be like a time like none other, according to Daniel chapter 12 and to verse 2. So we can only imagine, we can try to formulate and envision based upon what we've seen. or what we've read. We've read in the scriptures. Tens of thousands dying here, 60,000, 80,000 in Maccabees, in times of David, so forth and so on, right? We're seeing hundreds of thousands of people die in the scriptures. You're seeing millions die in different civil and world wars. You can watch movies. You can watch all different kind of war movies and everything. That's how we compile our imagination to say, well, how bad could it be? And the Most High said, it doesn't matter. Everything that you saying, everything that you thought let me use the blue letter. Everything you thought, can't even compare. Let's get that, Daniel. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. So Michael, the archangel, Michael, stands for Israel, the children of thy people, right? And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never, keyword, was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So the Lord said, you ain't seen nothing like this ever since nations was created, was coming down the pipeline. Right? And it says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Who's thy people? We know the children of Israel are the Lord's people. The Lord set us apart and made us special unto him, right? That's who's going to be delivered from said perils. And the heathen are going to see that, and they're going to grasp on and say, we need to be with them. Deliverance, salvation comes through them. We got to walk that path through them. Everyone that should be found written in the book, right? So getting back, if we're trying to be saved from these perils and have the salvation of the Most High and to escape, we got to hold on. Continuing on. It says, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So our salvation, our sanctification, our protection is going to be when we're back in our land and sanctified and within our borders. So we got to get up out of here and be placed back over in the land before it's all said and done. When all the perils and the hell and everything's going to come down, right? Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. So there's going to be a lot of torment coming to those who cast us away, those who oppress us, help forward the affliction. You fill in the blanks of who's done that to us. And it says that those that abuse my ways, right? Most High said 2/3 of Israel is not going to make it. 2/3 of Israel is going to face judgment. 2/3 of Israel would rather live like and be like the heathen. And the Lord said, well, then you can suffer the judgment of the heathen then. Right? Isn't that what Christ told us in Matthew 18? It said, if a man have an offense against another man, you go to him and him alone. If he won't hear you, bring 2 or 3 witnesses. If he still don't hear the 2 or 3 witnesses, it says, bring them to the church. If you don't want to listen to the church, the Lord said, let that man be as a publican and a heathen. He said, man, if you don't want to deal with what the word says, man, treat him like a heathen then. And that's what it is. Mark 13 and verse 3, it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives over against the temple, Peter and James and John and Andrew asked him privately. So this wasn't something that everybody was supposed to be hearing. Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? And Yahushua answering them began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, is that not echoing in our ears right now? Be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. So yeah, although we're hearing about the wars and the rumors of wars, that ain't the end. So please don't mistake me when I'm talking about World War III, this, that, and the third. I'm letting you know that that's the beginning of the end. These are timetables. These are signs. These are wonders that we got to pay attention to. But that ain't the end yet. Continuing on, it says, for a nation shall rise against nation. What is this nation? Hold on. Let's be clear. Because Most High is very, Yahweh is very specific. Now he says, well, nation shall rise against nation. Right? And under this word nation, you're going to see the Greek word ethnos. Where are we at? Why is this thing not moving right? See this word right here? Ethnos, meaning nation. Ethnos, right? A multitude, whether of men or beasts, associated or living together, company or true. But what do we want to see here? A tribe, nation, or people group. Ethnos, probably from G 1486, a race, as of the same habitat, a tribe, especially a foreign, non-Jewish one, right? So at the end all be all, what are we saying? You're going to have races rising against races. Translation, race wars, civil and racial wars will be happening. This is why you see the dynamics of the right-wing extremists rising up, training behind closed doors. They're all on these secret chat groups on Discord and Telegram and all these other little encrypted websites, recruiting. They're all in the MMA. They're out there shooting. I'll be showing y'all the news articles regarding that. They're out there prepping and getting ready to get busy. So when we see this, for a nation shall rise against nation, meaning race against race, and kingdom against kingdom, this is where you're going to see actual kingdoms, countries going against each other. Those are the world wars that's going to be happening. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. Here, there goes some earthquakes again. And there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. Well, if you remember, a few weeks ago, we talked about NSPM 7. Remember that? NSPM 7, where Trump said, hey, I'm getting ready to lay down the law regarding anybody who's anti-American, anti-Christian, anti-capitalist, holds extreme views on race and gender, anybody that's promoting the overthrow of the government, all those in those ambiguous terms. Oh, you don't like the traditional American values. You're now an enemy of the state. That law now is getting put into effect, and now you're starting to see the transitioning of where and how the men of the Lord are going to get persecuted, prosecuted, and judged. When your form of speech now is going to be weaponized against you, now we're getting ready to see these things come to pass as well. So stay tuned. We're going to see what happens. Let's get right to these current events. All right. So today, they got 2,600 cities going out protesting. Another No Kings protest. You know, a lot of the heathen is all intertwined in the mix in there. They're opposing President Trump's rulership. They say we don't want any kings, we don't want any dictators. The way that he's ruling is authoritarian, and we're protesting against it. Well, so far, things have only gotten worse since they did it back in June. He's full throttle. So these protests is vain. That's not going to change anything. And if a Negro or Hispanic think that you can go out there and you're gonna make a difference holding hands with the heathen, man, you can forget about it. That's not gonna change anything. Stay in your lane and repent. Wait for the judgment of the Lord. Where we at? I want to see 10, Proverbs 10. Maybe it's not. Yeah, that's it right there. No. No. Maybe it's not Proverbs 10. And join in hand. I know it's in Proverbs. Lucky y'all. Give me 1 second. I can't remember that script. I thought it was in Proverbs 10. That's 11. 11. I thought it was 10. Proverbs 11 and 21 says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. That's why I say, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, stay out them damn protests. You're joining hand in hand with the wicked. The Lord said that you're joining hand in hand. Doesn't matter. The wicked is not going to go unpunished. The judgment of the Lord is going to set forth. It's not a protest, a vote that you can do that's going to overturn or change his ways or the ways of this place. It's not going to happen. We shall overcome. Holding hands. I shared some information with y'all how the CIA, and them utilizing agent provocateurs, and they're behind many of the protests that go on. They come up with the slogans. They come up with the figureheads, the fall guys. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of these things are engineered and phony. Crowd surfing, you see those. I've shared with y'all the 1-800. What was it? Not crowds, but I forgot the name of it. But you've seen the websites, man, that help you advertise. If you want paparazzi, do you want to appear like you're a star? You want protesters? You can go rent all of those things. And all people are running out there thinking that they're going to make a difference with these protests. That's not happening. You tried it in June. Things only have gotten worse. The economy has gotten worse. Wars have continually escalated. You understand what I'm saying? ICE has been let loose all over the streets. That's not changed anything. What the Lord say? The seed of the righteous is going to be delivered, right? So here we go. Bloodline, talking about seed, sperma. The righteous are going to be delivered up out of this. You can't join hand in hand with these people thinking you're going to make a change. That's out. So let's look. Demonstrators began gathering across the country for protests against Trump. Protesters are expected to rally more than 2,600 cities and towns to oppose presidential actions they see as authoritarian. So, all good. Let's continue to see some more uprisings, uproars of the people. That only helps us prophetically. Matter of fact, I said we're going to look. Let's look and see. Poor Mitch. What was that show that Kevin Hart had? And they were calling males, the male word for female dog. I'm going to keep it PG. Male, they were calling him a Mitch. I forgot. Husband, Hollywood Husbands or something like that. Kevin Hart had the TV show. And they was telling dudes, man, quit acting like a Mitch, a male itch. You follow? There he goes. There we go. Protestant, no. Protests. Let's just look at 2024, how many protests. ACLU said there was 2,100 protests in 2024, right? Let's see about so far in 2025. That was 2,100 globally, right? They're talking about just 2,600 today. So they're increasing, right? Now, granted, this is the same cause, but it is what it is. So here you go. Protest of the people, right? Didn't it say also earthquakes? Urgent warning over a sonic boom, earthquakes that raise entire cities and could strike at any moment. So we've seen activity, earthquake activity, jumping off everywhere from Hawaii, uh, Papua New Guinea, all the way to New York and New Jersey. They've been experiencing earthquakes. Kentucky, the Midwest. You've seen multiple earthquakes happening in Myanmar, um, uh, Pakistan, where thousands have died, hundreds have died. Yeah, so the earth now is upset. Earthquakes are rising up. That's another sign that the Lord said we have to pay attention to. They keep talking about us. We're waiting for the big one here in California. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't rushing it, but yeah, they're expecting a big one to hit here or the Pacific Northwest. They're clocking and waiting, right? Let's continue. Oh, Russia mocks Donald Trump's America. Civil war is coming in the U.S. Well, Yahushua said it first. We just read that. But I guess maybe people will listen more when you hear some Russian lawmakers and propagandists and government officials say, hey, we believe what the Bible says and what the Israelites are saying. We keep talking about civil war is coming. Now the Russians are saying it. The Russian lawmakers said we should take advantage of their existing differences. We should drive them not only to an economic shutdown, but a political one. So even Russia knows kingdom divided against itself can't stand. But Yahushua told us that first. A Russian lawmaker has claimed civil war is brewing in America, and he, as he called Donald Trump, quote, dumb. Andrei Lugovoy, an MP in State Duma, the lower chamber of Russia's parliament, claimed Moscow should take advantage of Republican-Democrat, quote, divisions and cause a shutdown. See that? So if they're talking and they're observing from thousands of miles away saying, look at America's divided, America's jacked up, they're weak right now, we should go ahead and capitalize off of this. You don't think the rest of the world is noticing? They've been talking about how America's, they used to have some of the top rankings of passport visited cities. Now they fell out of like the top 10. Nobody's trying to come in no more. They're talking about people are now becoming more expatriates and removing or declining their citizenship, or they're getting dual citizenship. Like they want to be citizens in other countries, but still maintain the citizenship in America, or altogether they're denouncing their citizenship. All that is on the rise, which is all evidences and signs that we should say, man, this thing is going down. This place is dwindling. The mystique that America once had, that's dwindling. That Revelation 17, man, that mother of harlots that used to wear the purple and the costly array and the pearls and everything else, man, that she used to show off, and she was the envy of all the nations, and everybody wanted to be in her little brothel. Yeah, don't nobody want that poison breast milk no more, man. Everybody is weaning themselves off of the teat of America. Look at this. In a staggering appearance on Russian state TV, he claimed differences between the two U.S. political parties are, quote, entering a phase of being impossible to resolve, and the Kremlin should, quote, interfere. He said he doesn't treat claims that a, quote, civil war in America is coming as a, quote, conspiracy theory. Oh, yeah. Years ago, they would say we was a conspiracy theorist, or we were twisting the Bible, or we were taking things out of context when we were talking about the end all be all for America and its judgment. Oh, now all of a sudden everybody's on board. The only ones who still holding on is a damn black Christians who were just completely whipped with Stockholm syndrome of doctrine, begging for their masters to be liberated, freed, and to have continual rule over them. The rest of the world is like, what are you holding on to, man? That place is over with. Its leadership is divided. Its leadership is completely shot. The people in your own country are protesting and saying, we don't want him. We want out of here. So, you see the spirit. You see what's prevailing over this place. Let's continue. The drones are coming. Prepare for Russian kamikaze drones to swarm skies above Britain. Government has warned as Iranian weapon is unveiled in parliament. So yes, Iran has supplied drones to Russia. Russia now is threatening to send them drones on over there, right? No, we're not gonna go there, but you read about in like Revelation 9 tells you about the locusts that we're gonna give power over there. Imagine what you're seeing when you hear about locusts. You're talking about a destructive insect, right? That destroys lands, food. If I can spell it right. Destroys lands, foods. You see what happened to Egypt. See, look at this. As they're destroying the crops. Look at this guy. Now imagine, and you're hearing about drones, right? And then you see some of these, they got different images similar to this. These are all artworks, right? But at the same time, they have the capabilities and the mobilization of the drones, right? Now most of the warfare is drone warfare, which is similar to what we're seeing with like a plague of locusts. Everything is all based on, they said they got the head of a man. Look at it. Some of these things, man, we have to take into consideration to see where exactly Esau is with his weaponry, prophecies, and what he's getting ready to use. Because drone warfare right now is like the top forms of espionage and spying, let alone you got the drones with the Hellfire missiles and all that. That's the first wave of destruction. So now they're saying kamikaze drones are swarming the skies, or to prepare for it, I should say. It's not happening yet. Over Great Britain, which is going to be an act of war. Great Britain stands with NATO. Are they going to allow that to happen? Will this happen? This is everything that we're going to see. That's why we see wars and rumors of wars. And they've gotten these drones from Iran. And Iran is sitting back saying, well, we gave you them drones. Help us out with these with our nuclear power plants and our lithium deposit, so we can get on track and get these nukes going. And Russia's like happy to oblige. Remember, America said that they blew up and they destroyed all of the nuclear facilities that Iran had, and meanwhile they said that was a lie. They removed all of the lithium deposits and everything up out of there, and they already back to work again. Britain must be prepared for Russia to swarm its skies with deadly Iranian kamikaze drones, MPs and officials warned. The stark warning was issued today as a terrifying Shahed 136 weapon downed in Ukraine was unveiled in Parliament. It comes just weeks after Russian drones violated Polish airspace and after repeated sightings of unidentified drones in NATO skies. Look at that. Relatively cheap, lethal, and widespread, the drone has become Russia's weapon of choice against Ukraine. See that? See, they don't have to launch the Satan 2 bomb, and um, I know UCL. You sent me that new nuke that they got with the submarines that explode underwater and cause uh, tsunamis and earthquakes and all kind. They got so much stuff, man, that they haven't unveiled. Man, China unveiled new weapons that, man, lasers that America can't stop or track. I mean, it's all kind of stuff on the table. This is why I said this is just the early phase. Oh, send the drones over there. We handling stuff with the drones. That's easy. And now they're saying we can extend those over there to Great Britain, man, if y'all don't shut up and stay out our business. Let's pay attention to that. Continuing on. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Donald Trump plans to send Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine as NATO embraces for World War III. This was the initial headline, right? That he was going to send out these Tomahawk missiles, which are long-range missiles that can reach into the interiors of Russia. That was a deal breaker with Putin and Russia. So they was like, hold on. First, Trump was saying, you know, stop the wars and all this other stuff. Then he doubled back and said, well, hey, I do think Ukraine can actually win this war and actually even get some of their territories back and even some more territories in Russia. And now, all of a sudden, he's saying, well, I'm going to back it up by sending them Tomahawk missiles. Right? But look at this. Now he says he denies it. So we don't know what's going on. Trump denies Ukraine Tomahawk missiles, urges both sides to, quote, stop the war immediately. We don't know. See, this is why they call him Taco Trump. Trump always, Trump always chickens out. Trump always chickens out. Taco Trump, right? So he's always flip-flopping. He's always moving in the form of the double-mindedness. But hey, look, the scriptures say that's dangerous, though. A man like that is dangerous. James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Every way he's unstable, man. Anybody that's unstable is unpredictable. You don't know where, what, when, how, or why they're gonna act. You know, this is bipolar. You dig what I'm saying? So you be around somebody who's bipolar, man. They could be good 1 minute, next minute they trying to knock your head off. Next minute they arguing with you every minute, and you saying, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And then they switch and say, "Man, I'm cool, man. You know, I'm not." Nah, I don't even remember doing that, man. No, I was just tripping, man. I don't have my meds right now. So when you got something like that going on, he's unpredictable. Taco is a fitting name for him, and you know he's prideful, so you know he's not gonna take that lightly. Trump always chickens out. I ain't no chicken. I'm gonna show you. He goes out there and does something wild. But him being double-minded, him being hypocritical, him always backsliding, trolling, saying one thing, not doing it, you know. It's a dangerous man to be sitting up in that seat, man, with the codes to the nukes and everything else. So we don't know what's true. 1 minute they say he's sending them, next minute he said, I didn't say that. I mean, he probably doesn't even remember. He's right behind Slow Biden. Slow Biden's a lot worse, you know, with his cognitive abilities. But mental capacity, man, they both kind of like off there, man. Look, you see, Mitch? Trump ain't too far away from him. Let's continue. Cannon fodder. Putin could deploy 2 million reservists to meat grinder war with law change as Trump mulls sending Tomahawks to Ukraine. So that didn't change anything. You hear him talking about, hey, stop the war immediately. Putin doubles down and says, I'm calling in reservists. That's not going on. And they've got a rumor talk that they're going to meet again. You know, so we should keep our hopes up. Maybe we're going to get peace, man. The two devils getting ready to wag their forked tongues at each other, man. Maybe it's going to come together and they're going to actually speak the truth. I doubt it. It's not the way that things work. Continuing on, look at this. Sweden to begin stockpiling food for the first time since the Cold War. So I don't know about them, you, or anybody else, but they're over there stockpiling, getting ready for war. regardless of what the narrative is that the press is saying, the government is saying, Esau is saying over here in America, hey, we're working on peace. Hey, look what we did in Gaza. We're going to do the same thing for Ukraine and Russia. Oh, really, Gaza? Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. You know, the haters will sit back and say, see, he said it wasn't going to happen. He said that Trump couldn't pull off the peace. He did it. He is the president of the peace. Get his Nobel Prize ready. Did he really? Okay, we'll see. Let's see. So Sweden, they're getting ready for warfare. They're stocking up the food. We've seen other countries doing the same things, right? Preparing for war and preparations. There is no, hey, World War III, that's all chit chatter, man. Everybody get back to normal. This is the new normal, right? Gaza peace at risk. Oh, maybe we might want to put that Nobel Peace Prize on hold. It ain't been but a week and some change, and they're already talking about the peace deal is at risk. But they're blaming Hamas. Hamas blatantly violates hostage remains agreement, and Netanyahu warns, quote, the fight is not over. Hello? Did I say that? Did I make that up? Netanyahu says the fight is not over. It means that there is no peace. I mean, can you actually trust a man who has been blatantly lying? First of all, about who he is. His real last name isn't even that. You understand what I'm saying? They all got European roots. None of them are native to the land. Can you trust somebody like that who's got a history and a laundry list of lies and deceptions that follow him everywhere that he goes, and the people? You think that he's going to hold up with this peace deal? He said 2 weeks before they had the peace deal, he said he's not going to stop until they're all wiped out. Now all of a sudden, no peace deal. Yeah, let's get the hostages back. As soon as they get back a few of them hostages, he says, hey, the fight ain't over. Gaza peace deal is at risk, crumbling as Hamas, quote, blatantly violates the agreement by failing to return the remains of the dead hostages. Hamas was supposed to release all living and dead hostages on Monday under the Donald Trump brokered deal, but the bodies of 19 dead hostages remain in Gaza, with just 9 returned to Israel. Now, if you remember, they even had the Hamas out there, man, popping and executing their own people, saying that they were collaborators. Anybody that got down with them or anybody that was with it, they was like, man, you sellouts, Uncle Tom's, man, shoot them. So the dead bodies that they were expecting to get back, they didn't get them back, and now there's a risk that this peace deal might be over. Remember, the scripture said, man, there is no peace unto the wicked. So that this will continue. Look, bloodshed battle. Trump warns Hamas will, quote, we'll have no choice but to go in and kill them if carnage continues in Gaza. So now this is why I said he is double-minded. That fast, he's talking about, I'm ready to go in there. Will. Did you see? Will. Not W-H-E-E-L. Will. W-H-apostrophe-L-L. That means that America, he's saying that America will get involved and go in there and start killing, quote unquote, unaliving, for the YouTube audience and the YouTube algorithm, unaliving Gazans again and Palestinians again. He said they have no choice if the carnage continues in Gaza. You think the wild man of Ishmael is going to stop? You think that they're satisfied with what's going on? You give them a peace deal and tell them they can go back to their lands. They let them walk back to nothing. I'm sure some of y'all seen the remain. What? Let's see. This is what they told them you can go back to now. Hey, peace deal on deck, man. Go ahead and back home. Is there any aid that they're going to get for this? No. Look, is this a victory? Is that cool for them? He sounds so devilish, man. Look at it. Oh, that was 2023. No, we don't need that. This is what they can have back. Huh? You think they satisfied with that? Oh, we're gonna let you start eating again. We'll let the food in. Right. Oh, so they say, hey, you should be happy. So they're still over there tearing up stuff. They mad as hell. Look at this. Donald Trump has warned Hamas he will go in and kill them if bloodshed persists in the Gaza Strip. His fierce warning seeks to end violence that has continued to plague Gaza, with Hamas executing quote collaborators and killing rivals in deadly gun battles. Trump's feelings on the violence seem to have hardened significantly. Oh, really? When he speaketh fair, believe him not. Right? 7 abominations in his heart. Proverbs 26:25. Oops. He said on Tuesday that Hamas activities, quote, didn't bother me much, suggesting the terror group had taken out a couple of gangs that were very bad. See, that's how Esau play. Esau said, man, I don't give a damn. They can kill each other. That's fine. That's word to you Negroes out here and Hispanics out here killing yourselves off in the streets, especially out here in LA right now. It's super hot in the streets. Gang wars is jumping off, man. Bodies is dropping. The shootings damn near every week. They're not promoting it worldwide. You don't, but trust me, this gang war is really heated up right now out there, man. And Esau could care less. He's like, yes, kill each other. We're trying to gentrify and take your neighborhoods anyway. The more you niggas that's killing each other, the better. Ambulance on standby. We'll pick up the bodies, drop them off. And then we're building a Starbucks at your favorite, little liquor store hangout that you used to be. We're tearing that down. We need our people comfortable when we come back in there and take over. So you see here where Trump said, man, hey, it didn't bother me much that they out there killing and executing collaborators and all this other stuff. Look, he talking about, oh, there's just a couple of gangs. And all of a sudden, Agent Orange, man, he's tapped in with the streets. He's always talking about gangster stuff. Oh, yeah, the bad gangs from Venezuela, the bad gangs in Chicago, the bad gangs in Palestine. Like, how the hell are you always talking about some gangster? Oh, well, I guess he is the biggest gangster. Let me correct myself. He's tapped in with the political streets, man, representing the Republicans and his rivals, the Democrats, have mobilized their zombie hordes out there in the streets right now to protest. Unbelievable. It says, then he vowed that the U.S. would force them to disarm, quote, perhaps violently, if they refuse to do so. Perhaps violently. Well, Esau loves violence, man. Do you think that he's not willing to commit to violence? He loves violence. That's what he's rather go do. Right? Look at this. As he's parading around looking for Nobel Peace Prizes, he's steadily engaged in war. But notice this. I said this before. He wanted that. He wants the oil and the resources, the gold and all of that, right? Look at this here. Maduro offered the U.S. access to Venezuela's oil and mineral resources to avoid war. Didn't we said this was all about the war? I mean, this is all about resources, lands. This is all about him being replaced in a coup. You see, this is the ignorant. This is the violence and the wickedness, man, that the so-called white man does, man. Isaiah 5:8, it says, "Woe unto them that join house to house." What does that mean? That means he's joining houses. He's building his empire. He's taking over homes and building them up and creating them and saying that they're his. He's joining them together. This is mine. That's mine. This is mine. That's mine. I'm taking over this house. I'm joining it this way. That lay field to field till there be no place. Meaning what? He takes over all the field. Look at Bill Gates, largest farmland owner in the U.S. They seize everything until there's nothing left. That's the colonizer. That's the mentality of, Job 9:24. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. He knows that. And he says, man, this is all mine anyway. And if you're not running it the way that I want to, if you're not giving me access to everything I want, I'm taking it. And they're laying field to field till there be no place, until he's got everything. This is why he was talking about the plans that they were talking about with Palestine and Gaza. Remember he was talking about that? Oh yeah, we can take this over, man. We can build casinos. We can build, the Ben Gurion the Ben Gurion what were they calling it? I know this like the Ben Gurion plan, but they were trying to build a streamline to create the imports and exports. See, this is what he does. He wants to take everything until there's nothing left. That they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. He just wants it to be him. Remember the Georgia Guidestones? I said they wanted to, which are now since been destroyed. The Georgia Guidestones said that they were going to have a population of 500 million. Everybody else is going to get put to death. He wants complete domination of the earth, global population control. He needs it at a number that he can actually sustain and control. He wants to be placed in the earth by himself, right? So you hear Maduro trying to avoid war, and it's a damn shame, man, because he bowed down and kissed the ring immediately. As soon as Trump went over there and said, look, we're finna go over there and start smashing and taking everything, man. And Maduro's like, okay, boss. No problem. The Ben Gurion Canal, the water. There you go. Maduro tried to cop out and say, man, I don't want no problems. What do you want? Take it. But the damn bloodlust of the so-called white man and Trump and all of them said, no, that ain't enough. I want you dead. I want you gone, and I'm taking everything. Don't give me nothing. I'm taking it. Thus saith the Lord. Look at Job 24:2. Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. What do? Violently take away flock heritage. We know Micah chapter 2. Remove landmarks, Venezuela borderlines and anything else. He said, man, that I'm getting ready to take all of that. What are you talking about? It's Central America. Last word, America. Last name, America. It's mine. They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth hide themselves together. Look at this. To turn the needy out of the way. We know, or you should know, that Venezuela is one of the most impoverished countries in Central America. The inflation rates are sky high. People over there, man, trying to get up out of there. You see how many people are, if you look at the diaspora, people leaving from Venezuela, they're going to all the other countries that's surrounding them. They're in Colombia, they're in America, they're in Argentina, they're all over the place. They're leaving. They're trying to make a better way because of how bad it is. Is he concerned about going over there and helping them? No. He's got the sanctions going on. He's shutting down the economy, which is why they had to switch to a socialist economy, because they said we don't want any more to do with the IMF and America giving us high inflated loans and wanting to colonize and take over the country and control our politics and democracy. We don't want that no more. And since you didn't want to do that anymore, now America's making them pay. Verse 5, behold, as a wild asses is in the desert, go they forth to their work, rising betimes for a prey. The wilderness yieldeth food for them and for their children. They reap every one his corn in the field, and they gather the vintage of the wicked. They cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. Yeah, they force homelessness. They have no problem with tent cities and people living out there on the cold and on the wet slabs of the streets. Look at Gavin Newsom, man. Remember, he lost $24 billion that was supposed to go to the homeless. Now, there's still no accounting of that money. Where is it? They cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. They are wet. Was it billion? I think it was 24. I think I said million. I think it was 24 million. Oh no, Slovakia, it was 24 billion. I'm giving him more credit than he deserves. Look at that. 24 billion missing for tackling homelessness. What the most I say about this? They cause the naked lives without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountains and embrace the rock for want of shelter. Embrace the rock. Down them concrete slabs on the streets, man. They pluck the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge of the poor. They cause them to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheep from the hungry. Yeah, so they have no problem taking, plundering, causing widows in the streets, killing men, so forth and so on, man. Pluck the fatherless from the breast. They're taking the kids, putting them in captivity, sex trafficking them, and the whole nine. And then take the pledge. They taxing people, inflation, the whole. The list goes on and on. It says, verse 11, which make oil within their walls and tread their wine presses and suffer thirst. Men groan from out of the city, and the soul of the wounded crieth out. Yet the Most High layeth not folly to them. Yeah, the Most High is letting them get away with it. But the Lord said that all judgment is going to come back to him double. Right? Now let's look at this. Before we're hearing about gang wars and before we're hearing about the bombings of these quote unquote boats carrying drugs and all this other stuff, look, there was already negotiations and Trump was already leaning on him, saying, you know what I want? I need that. Like Debo went and punked Red for the bike. And Red and Friday was like, hey, it could be like it's both of ours. You want to borrow the bike? He was like, what, man? It's my bike. It's my chain. Come on, Debo. My grandma gave me that chain. What chain, punk? Like that type stuff is what Trump was in here doing. Deboing him. Maduro offered the U.S. access to Venezuela's oil and mineral resources to avoid war. He said, I don't want no smoke, man. Just come take what you want. It ain't enough. According to the New York Times, talks on a potential deal went on for months. So this is going on. They just started bombing the boats like a couple months ago. The first one. I don't even know if it was a couple months ago. He's been leaning on him for months. And Maduro, the president of Venezuela, saying, come on, man, don't do me like that. Let me just stay president, man. You can have what you... No. I want it all. I want you dead or replaced. I want the land. I want every damn thing. Look, the government of Venezuela president Nicolas Maduro had offered the U.S. access to Venezuela's oil, minerals, and other natural resources as part of a potential deal to avoid conflict, the New York Times reported Friday. The report said talks on the potential deal went on for months, despite the U.S. increasing military pressure on Venezuela and bombing boats in the Caribbean, but they have ceased since President Trump recently ordered his special envoy, Rick Grenell, to halt diplomatic efforts with the Venezuelan government. Now that's a lie because they just bombed another boat the other day and they found one quote unquote survivor and snatched him up. Where's he at? Who knows? Where was that at? Look at that. U.S. blows up another Venezuelan drug boat, killing 6 more narco terrorists. I mean, can we see the pictures of the drugs that were seized? Oh, no, you can't. Why? Oh, because you blew up the boat. We don't know what's going on with that. They're just killing. Look at this. I'm trying to find that. There was one cat survived, and they look at here we go. U.S. military confirms U.S. strike on alleged quote drug carrying submarine. There have been no known survivors until now across 6 military strikes that have killed at least 27. Yeah, they captured one of the dudes. Now they attacking submarines and the whole nine, right? Who knows what the hell's going on? All we do know is that before any of this went down, the Venezuelan president was like, "Look, man, just take what you want. Stop killing. We don't need to go to war. I ain't trying to do all of that." Look at this. Under the potential deal, Venezuela was willing to open up all existing and future oil and gold projects. Didn't he shake down Zelensky? Then he shook him down for the minerals deal, 500 billion worth of minerals out of Ukraine, joining house to house, field to field, right? Now he's down there in Venezuela, like, hey, I'm out that too. Under the potential deal, Venezuela was willing to open up all existing and future oil and gold projects to U.S. companies and give preferential contracts to U.S. businesses. He said, man, you got it. You got it, boss. Jefe, you got it. Existing future gold and projects, U.S. companies, you got first dibs on them. You want the gold, you want the minerals, you can have it. Come on. Very similar to how the Spaniards came over here, conquering and destroying the Maya, constantly destroying and pillaging and raping and seizing the lands of the Inca and the Aztec, right? The Taínos, the Maroons. You dig what I'm saying? Like, this is classic colonization of the so-called white man. Hands up. He said, man, take what you want. And that's a cold ass robbery, man. When somebody surrender and say, man, take everything. You just let me live. And the dude still get shot and get put to death. Or you still get socked and knocked out. After you just said, man, damn, I told you can have it. Why you have to shoot me? Why you have to sock me out? That's a cold bully, man. The report said Maduro was also willing, and more. Hold on. Willing to make other significant concessions concerning Venezuela's relationship with other countries. He said, look, man, you don't want me getting along with China and Russia no more, man? I'll cut them off. You're right, I'll cut them off. Just leave me alone. You can have the gold. You can have the oil. I'll give you preferential treatment to your businesses, man. Oh, what? You don't want me talking with China and Russia and Iran no more? Okay, fine. I'll cut them off. What do they get for that? Bombing boats, 27 dead, lies and slander, international warrants out for him. I mean, all kind of crazy stuff. There's no negotiating with the beast, man. There's no negotiating with the dragon and Satan, man. You can't sit back in his face, man. He's got a perpetual hatred for you anyway. You can't sit back and think that all of a sudden now you're gonna get some favor. What's that? Revelation 12 says you're gonna make war with the verse 17. Revelation 12:17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of the Mashiach Yahushua. See, when you're in the commandments, the Lord said that the dragon is going to be wroth with you. You're going to make war with you regardless. That's the battle. Now you're thinking you can sit back and negotiate. They ain't even in the commandments and you still getting treated like that. So imagine where he stands at. Look at this. Before we close this, Venezuela's relationship with other countries, including reversing the flow of Venezuela oil exports from China to the U.S. and ending contracts with Chinese, Russian, and Iranian firms. He was willing to do everything and anything, man. And what did he get for it? Bombs, destruction. And now he's getting slandered in the press, talking about he's an international drug dealer and all this other stuff. Like, come on, man. We know what it's all about. U.S. Special Operations helicopters, B-52s, are near Venezuela, expanding the Caribbean mission. For months, you try to negotiate and begging him and saying, "I'll give you whatever you want." Where'd you get more B-52s, more damn bombings of boats, more warships embarking over there? Now, mind you, you got to remember, uh, very reminiscent of some of y'all know this, some of you might not. Now, if you remember, for time's sake, and I don't normally do this, but I will do it just for now, for time's sake, right? We'll let let's see if AI keeps it real. Okay, let's look at this. This is how the Vietnam War started, right? Esau got too far into the Gulf of Tonkin, and they was spying, and they was had broken an agreement of where they couldn't travel to. They got caught. They shot at the Vietnamese. They doubled back and said they got shot at, which caused the war to jump off. In other words, man, Esau lied and said they got fired on, started this whole war. The Gulf of Tonkin incident has been surrounded by controversy. Subsequent investigation revealed that the second attack on August 4th likely did not happen, raising questions about the accuracy of the information presented to Congress. This incident contributed to a growing skepticism about U.S. government transparency and military actions in Vietnam. I mean, we should know, man. All of the things that we have. Now, see here. August 2nd, 1964, the USS Maddox conducting reconnaissance was attacked by North Vietnamese torpedo boats. August 4th, a second alleged attack on the USS Maddox and the USS Turner Joy was reported, but later evidence suggested it did not occur. I've read and seen this whole incident did not occur. They got caught slipping over there doing reconnaissance, and the Vietnamese caught them. They fired off and got up out of there. And then they doubled back and said, "Oh, we went back again, and we got shot at again," and that's what caused the whole thing to go on. Point being, far be it from the so-called white man to tell the truth about an engagement of war. If he's over here conducting experiments and dropping bombs and committing biological warfare on residents from St. Louis all the way down to Avon Park, Florida, and in Georgia, and in San Francisco, and bombing cities in Philadelphia, and all this other stuff. I mean, why would we believe that he was innocent in starting all this war? Y'all gonna look at the Gulf of Tonkin. There's a whole conspiracy, not even conspiracy. The truth is, it was all set up upon a lie, and drew people into that, and drew America into that Vietnam War that essentially took a lot of lives, jacked a lot of people up, brought Jakes back with PTSD and drug habits and false promises and all kind of madness. So don't be surprised if there's some story about how some Venezuelan boat attacked an American cruiser or shot a RPG up and almost missed a helicopter, and that's what caused America to go full scale destruction mode on Venezuela. See, they're going to run out of the drug boats. Well, people are going to say, well, we ain't seen a near drug yet. We ain't seen a whiff of powder. We ain't seen a whiff of fentanyl. We ain't seen none of this. What are you talking about? Is this even legitimate? Is this, once those stories people start switching up, they're going to say, oh, well, they shot at us. We had to go and invade. Well, they ran that line before, but hey, If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? So don't be surprised, man. Esau flips that script. Because clearly Venezuela was ready to give it up. They didn't want to go to war. They was like, man, take what you want, man. Let's be friends. And America's like, hell no. Bombing, destroying, taking what I want. And they're constantly provoking, bombing this boat, bombing that boat, lying on this news channel, that news channel about the reputation of Venezuela, the Trinidad de Agua gangs. All of a sudden now they're the biggest thing on earth, destroying it. Come on, man. They're trying everything. Last thing they're gonna do is a false flag and say, "Hey, they shot at us first, man. We had to do it." Well, it has to be in the news how that worked out. Let's continue. Xi removes China's #2 general and escalating purge of military leadership. We can see here that the nations, in particular China, they're firing generals. Who else was doing that? Oh, Pete Hegseth fires U.S. Navy Chief of Staff. Remember they had that whole little purging of the military, talking about, man, basically like if you ain't on board with us, get out and you can retire, and or we'll fire you. And well, China's doing the same thing. For some reason, these two powerhouse nations are purging the military and basically saying, man, if you ain't on our page, get out. Because we're getting ready to make some harsh decisions and harsh moves, and we want everybody on board. If you ain't on board with us, get out, and we'll deal with you later. Sirach 10:2 says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of a city is, such are all they that dwell therein. See, they want everybody on one accord. So when they pull the switch and push the panic button on this warfare, man, everybody is fully entrenched and fully believes that they're fighting for the right cause. Right? So China's out here purging their military, getting everybody on board. If you ain't with it, bounce. Because, come 2027, they talking about hitting up Taiwan. They got the relationship with Russia. Everything is leading up to them lining up in accordance with warfare. And if you ain't with it, beat it. China's doing that. America's doing that. All right. Now, off from the war stuff, let's look at the technological stuff. Look at it. Metro Bank recap. Chaos as customers are locked out of accounts with money cleared. Some customers saw their transactions duplicate, leaving them in the minus. So why are we bringing this out? Because how everything is moving towards a cashless society, digitizing your economies, digital IDs, how you get your pay, how you can buy, sell, so forth and so on, can all be controlled with a push of a button. There's backdoors, hacks, and a whole lot. Didn't Thailand just have a issue with 3 million people locked out of their bank accounts, couldn't get in? But this is just the B system controllers, man, the tech heads, man, out here running game. Remember they had the cyber polygon 3 years ago? Cyber polygon exercises that they were running to see about how they can, infiltrate and how hackable all the security systems were. They were going to run a bunch of different cyber attacks and test the systems out. In my opinion, that's what's going on right now. They're tampering with the money systems. You see what's going on with the stock market and the cryptos, man. All the little crypto heads now is crying online, talking about, man, they robbing us. They stole our money. As they're fiddling with the numbers and with the digital ledgers, cooking the books. Trump and his people, man, they done made millions and pawned millions off of the crypto markets as they're leveraging themselves. Remember he had the Trump coin or whatever he came out with when he first got elected. Yeah, they've been raking in millions off of that. Now we're seeing banks now are getting caught up. People bank accounts getting wiped out, getting froze out, can't access their money. Look, hundreds of Metro Bank customers reported serious issues with the banking app on Tuesday morning as some saw their accounts wiped. Reports were made to the website Down Detector, pinning the problems to online banking, mobile banking, and transferring of funds. Well, isn't that why they want everything to go down? Everything online, mobile, QR codes, applications. Wi-Fi connections, all of that stuff, right? That's why I say make sure you got a little shoebox money stashed away. Make sure you got something in the safe or under your pillow. Because at any particular point in time, they could zap it and be like, hey, we got a system outage. We don't know when we'll get it back up. Hopefully within 24 hours. You like 24 hours? I got to get gas. I got to go to work. I got to, I was supposed to go grocery shopping. The baby's just hungry. I got to get my prescription for my my diabetes, whatever. And you're unable to access it. The 24 hours turned to 48. 48 turned in, 72 hours. You sitting back saying, well, damn, you told me it was going to be. You calling the bank. And somebody answering with a strong accent saying, sorry for helping you. We can try to get into your account, sir. We're very sorry. And you get even more frustrated. Thank you for holding. We can't access your account right now. We're working on the problem, ma'am. And you like, give me my goddamn, what's going on? Ah! And all hell's gonna break loose. The bank said it was having technical issues with features allowing people to send and receive money. A statement on its service page read, we're currently having issues with our payment services. We're working to fix this as quickly as possible and apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you. Yeah, you can't get your payments out. Oh, guess what? You were already late on your car note. You said you're going to pay on this particular date. That date comes around. You're trying to send them their money. They can't get it. Oh, guess who's knocking on the door? Repo man. Hey, you missed your payment. You're supposed to pay on this date. Well, yeah, the bank was down. Yeah, you deal with your, deal with the loan company about that, man. I got to get this car. Well, hold on. I need that for work. I got to take my kids to school. I can't. Sorry. Ain't my fault. Yeah, but look, the bank said they're gonna get it. I didn't. It's not my fault. Look, it's not mine either. I got a job to do. They lift up your car and they riding out, or your phone get turned off, or your lights off because you couldn't pay the bill because they done messed up your account. You dig what I'm saying? Like that's the type of hell that all this leads to when we're all encompassing in this digital sphere of buying and selling. That is just unavoidable. This is what the B system is lined up. That's where it's going. But you can hedge against those things with other resources. You got to look into it, see how you can make sure that you've got yourself in a position that, if this happens, all is not lost. In other words, may damage it greatly, but you might not be completely out of luck. Want to see something? Let me show y'all this. How many of y'all seen this? They've got data generals now.
4,000 feet?
Which are completely digitized. Dollar General, right? This is a Dollar General in Banner Elk, North Carolina. No employees. Everything is scannable and robotic. Camera watching. Look at this.
In Banner Elk, North Carolina. No lines, no checkout, just shop and go.
They don't want to see the numbers.
So I guess we're seeing I guess we're getting a receipt. Doors open, okay. Doors open. Look at all the cameras.
So you're not getting in until you scan your card or scan your ability to get into the store. They you scan your card. I don't know if it's biometrics or not. That attaches your card along with the access into, but the doors is locked until you tap in. Right? This is the future, buying and selling. Revelation 13. Here you go. Look at all them cameras.
So you just pick anything you want, and then you leave. There's no one working anywhere in the store. How to shop.
How to shop and go. Just pick up or bag your items. You won't be charged for items you put back. No lines or checkout. It's okay to just walk out. Sounds so convenient, doesn't it? You know, you saw going there, they, looking like deers with other headlights, eyes bugged out. Oh, look at this, it's so cool. Cashless, man. You go in there, all the cameras is watching. The cameras are scanning everything that you take. So this is the future of anybody that's stocking, anybody working in the grocery store. All that they can replace all of them jobs by 2030 or greater, maybe sooner. Who knows? You know, once they get the AI and the robotics lined up, they ain't gonna need nobody to stock themselves no more. They ain't gonna need nobody to scan something and tell you have a nice day. Do you want a bag and all? They moving in on all of that.
So Dollar General has stepped up their game in the mountains. This is legit.
Mike, are you getting
Yeah, we're getting a video. Look at this. They stepped up all their good stuff, getting everything. Look at this. We got all the sodas, energy drinks. You need milk. You need eggs. Lactose free even.
ice cream?
Ice. Everything you need in the mountains at 4,000 feet. With not a soul here to know what you get. Somehow, all the cameras know what you get. Let's see if we get charged accurately. We have Twix and milk.
There's another video where they actually show the people gathering handfuls of things. And when they walk out, they get the receipt. They check the receipt. Everything is accurate on the receipt. Right. There's a few of these particular videos of people. I don't know if it's the same store or if there's different ones. But yeah. This is where they're headed with all of this stuff, man. Now they're up there in the mountains. Okay, 4,000. Who's trying to live up there? Who's trying to work there? Eventually, it's going to be, well, who's trying to work or live in these crime-ridden places? Who's trying to, go to these places where people are afraid to go and all the other stuff. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Right now, they're experimenting out there in the boondocks, but it's eventually going to come to a city near you. That's the plan. Let's continue. So on that note, with the shutdown going down, we see what happened a couple weeks ago. Burbank Airport, Burbank Airport air traffic control tower unmanned. Flights got canceled amid the government shutdown. Government shutdown hits air travel, closing a control tower and causing delays across the country. Right? They just had another plane crash. Two planes collided on the tarmac in Chicago's airport yesterday, or it could have been this morning. I can't recall. I saw that this morning. So the travel is all jacked up. The air traffic control, the government shutdown is affecting everything, right? Now look at this: ICE tickets. A Chicago man with legal residency, $130 for not having his papers on him. Sound familiar? Reminiscent of how much it cost? World War II? The NAZIs, you remember them? Where's your papers? See, but if you remember, even during the C-19 era, they wanted everybody to have vaccine passports. You had to have your papers with you. Were you cleared? Have you, received your treatments in your arms? Are you eligible to work? If not, we got to make sure that we're on top of you. Now it's transitioned into a legitimate, where's your green card? Where's your papers? Where's your visa? Where's your legitimate citizenship? I want to see your ID. You ain't got it. Fine him. The whole dynamics of the place is changing. That's why you say nation rising against nation. They've had massive protests over there in Chicago. I give the residents of Chicago some credit where they did say, "Hey, man, in Chicago we ain't having it," but it wasn't what they were saying. Talking about we got switches and we gonna stand up. Them Negroes was nowhere to be found while them kids was getting zip tied and escorted out of buildings, and women crying with guns in their faces and all that other stuff. They nowhere to be found. Who I do see out there protesting those damn heathen I've seen a few Jakes out there too, but the frontliners is them damn Edomites out there putting up a fuss, right? But look at this, man. They out here targeting people, asking them for their papers now, man. So imagine where we're headed. Imagine where we're headed. Look at it. Trump considers an overhaul of refugee system that would favor white people. Oh, we want to make America great again? Make America white again? Project 2025? Sound familiar? Didn't we talk about that a couple weeks ago? What essentially he's talking about here is he's looking at changing up the immigration policies to make it harder for quote unquote people of color to get in here and show more favor to Europeans and South Africans to let them come on over here. Oh, yeah, yeah. Trump considers an overhaul of refugee system that would favor white people. The proposals would transform a program aimed at helping the most vulnerable people in the world into one that gives preference to mostly white people who say they're being persecuted. Oh, so you're trying to tell me somebody fleeing Ukraine is going to get here faster and more approved than somebody fleeing the war-torn streets of Haiti? Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. People fleeing the drug violence and the carnage that's going on in Mexico. Oh, you're going to get overlooked for some white farmers in South Africa. You're going to get suppressed and you're staying back. Remember, they even changed and put white men over the civil rights department in the White House. I covered that damn near a month or so ago. White men now are unbelievable. They're controlling civil rights now, the civil rights department. Now they're swapping out and saying, guess what? White folks, you coming over here from Europe and South Africa, y'all coming over here faster. We shutting down all of them brown and black people trying to come up here. The Trump administration is considering a radical overhaul of the U.S. refugee system that would slash the program to its bare bones while giving preferences to English speakers. White South Africans and Europeans who oppose migration, according to documents obtained by the New York Times. The proposals, some of which already have gone into effect, will transform a decades-old program aimed at helping the world's most desperate people into one that conforms to Mr. Trump's vision of immigration, which is to help mostly white people who say they're being persecuted while keeping the vast majority of other people out. Need I say more? That needs no explanation. That's plain. That's who's running the country. All the Make America, black folk and niggas out here parading for Trump. They don't have no idea what's getting ready to come down the pipeline. Let's move on. Look at this. Trump open to invoking the Insurrection Act. He's open to it. What's the Insurrection Act? That means that he's going to, or he's open to allowing the military to interfere when they have a quote unquote threat of anybody that's causing insurrections against the government, anybody anti-government, so forth and so on. The military can intervene into state matters. And then essentially we're talking martial law. Now he says he's going to do it, to just protect federal buildings. The same way he said, ICE is just here to help. National Guard is just here to help ICE conduct the raids and everything else. But he's been managing them and putting them out on the streets all across the country. So now that they're being set up, now that they're allowing these particular protests to jump off, now that you've got an NSPM 7 act put into effect, all of the ingredients is in the pot. Steadily they're making up the FEMA camps all across the country. The recipe is already there. Now all he got to say, I'm open to martial law. Hey, man, not right now, but I'm open to the idea. See, double-minded man's unstable in all his ways. Now it says, look, the comments came a day after federal judge blocked the president from sending National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. Look at his reasoning. He's basically gonna say, man, anybody that tells me I can't do it, anybody that says they don't want me to put National Guard troops in their state, I'm open to overriding that with the Insurrection Act. How about that? Look at this. President Donald Trump on Monday said he would consider using the Insurrection Act to deploy the military if federal courts prevented him from deploying the National Guard to protect federal buildings and conduct law enforcement operations. The comments came a day after a federal judge blocked the president from sending National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon, which Trump claims has been taken over by left-wing domestic terrorists. Yeah, he's declared war against his political opposition. That's a fact, right? He's heading to all the blue states, man. He's spinning the block, riding down on all of his enemies right now. Now let's look at this real quick, just so everybody can get an idea. See the Insurrection Act 1807 is a U.S. federal law that allows the president to deploy military forces domestically to suppress insurrections. I mean, there's no insurrections going on right now. Civil disorder. Oh, the No Kings protests, the stuff that they've been letting ride on. Oh, Antifa, they're a domestic terrorist organization. They're going to realign all of those terms and slap them on the Black Hebrew Israelites. They're going to slap them on all that stuff. There's too many of them in here. We don't know who's who, friend or foe. Domestically, to suppress insurrection, civil disorder, or rebellion against the government. It serves as an exception to the Posse Comitatus Act, which generally restricts the military involvement in civilian law enforcement. So he says, I'm open to that. And if my political opponents, if they don't let me do what I want to do, I'm ready to go there. The comments came a day after a federal judge blocked the president from sending National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. Oh, we read that, right? Now he says Portland, Oregon has been taken over by domestic terrorists. UZL Malachi, y'all brothers just came down here for Tabernacles, and there was no reports coming from y'all. Eyewitnesses live in them areas, right? There's no reports that there's a takeover. The streets are just filled with flames and fire and smoke and, crazed Edomites, meth heads running around tearing up. None of that is going on at all. But they're saying, hey, this place is overran. We need to send in the troops, man, to get control of the situation. That's the same way as them saying Maduro's a big time Pablo Escobar drug dealer, man, and he's got Trinidad de Agua. The gang is running rampant all throughout the Caribbean and in America selling dope. I guess they forgot about all of the damn Sinaloa cartels and all the other damn cartels in Mexico. They don't exist no more because they're shipping the fentanyl and getting the dope over here and the weed and everything else in alignment with China. They're not a threat, Why they not a threat? Because they ain't got the gold and the minerals. But here he goes, right? Let me pick it up. I got about 10 minutes before I got to move on. All right, so that's another threat that we see what's going on. Like I said, you see the recipe all over the place, man. From the FEMA camps getting built up, from him changing up particular laws, man, to saying, listen, if you're anti-American, anti-Christian, you hold extremism views on race, gender, so forth and so on. That's all punishable and prosecutable. If I don't like what you're saying, that's it. You in support of, so-called immigration and people coming over here illegally, and even though they've been here 20 years, contributing to society, helping build up your empire, you don't like them, they can get up out of here. Like all these particular views, man. You telling people, man, you shouldn't be eating swine, crab, lobster, they uphold the law. Hey, those are good American values, man. You don't like ham on Thanksgiving? Are you an extremist? What's up with you? Maybe I should tell your boss. You said something bad about, one of our political heroes. You know who I'm talking about. I said I ain't gonna speak on his name no more. See, all those things now are changing the landscape. Look at this. More bad news for California. Second Amendment showdown. California bans Glock handguns and major challenge to gun rights. The Quab, I might have to get out there, man, be your neighbor, man. I might have to go melt out there in damn Phoenix with you. Because this is out of control, man. Not only did they double the taxes for any firearm sales or ammunition, banning damn near everything but a pea shooter and a slingshot. Now, come next year, July of 2026, they will ban Glock sales. And I haven't even done the full research to find out if you got one, if your grandfather did, or more than likely that's what's going to happen. But they're saying that they're going to ban them moving forward, man. Well, most are willing. They get the suit, and something comes of it, man. But shit, pardon my friends, ain't too much coming in our favor out here, man. It's not too much going on. Yeah, it's all bad. Governor Gruesome, man, signed a long-anticipated Responsible Gun Manufacturing Act, Assembly Bill 1127, a law that may now trigger a major challenge under the Second Amendment. The law banned the Glock semi-automatic handguns that are a favorite of American gun owners, including former Vice President Kamala Harris. Imagine that. Yeah, then she said she got a Glock, man. You come to my house, I'm gonna shoot you. Yeah, well, why don't you go holler at your boy, man? You from out here, or you not from out here, but you was a political senator out here. Yeah, get out here and go tell him. She ain't gonna do it. Let's continue. Look at this. You seen last week, or was it the week before last, where what was it? AI chat, OpenAI had that where they're creating videos, fake videos of people stealing and all this other stuff. Remember, I told you, man, you see me in some compromising position and some wild stuff. It is not me. It is not me. Look at this. Cops, AI image used in a false sex attack claim. This little witch right here, man, she used AI to make a picture. Let me read it to y'all, man, because you won't believe it. And this is trending now. A Florida woman contacted police earlier this month to report that a male assailant had barged into her home, knocked her to the ground, and then committed a sexual assault. How many stories do we have of this in our history, i.e., Rosewood and other places where white woman claims it was a nigga, nigga went and raped me, nigga stole my purse, nigga done did it. It was a black man. I don't know if y'all seen that video. I was late on it. There was a little white girl, and the mama was filming her. I got the video. I think I still got it, but I ain't got time to find it. Little white girl. She couldn't have been more than maybe 6, 7 years old, if that. And the mama was sitting there telling her, who stole the cookies? Who ate the cookies? Blah, blah, blah. And the little white girl's like, it wasn't me. And then she's saying, I know somebody ate the cookies. Who did it? And she says, it was a black man. And the mama started laughing. Training them young. Now they're at the point to where they're getting ready to use and are using AI imagery, man, to create a fake rape. Great, I should say, for the algorithm of YouTube keeps knocking people out and taking them off, and that's just it's ridiculous, man. Anyway, so here she is saying that there was a male that barged into her door, knocked her to the ground, and committed a sexual assault. While the attacker was a stranger, the woman says she was able to take a photo of the suspect while he was seated on the couch in her St. Petersburg apartment. I thought he knocked her to the ground and barged into her home. He's sitting on the couch now to take a picture? Okay. Multiple officers and forensic technicians responded to the scene where Brooke Chenault, a 32-year-old mother of two, said the October 7th attack occurred. But a subsequent police examination of the image provided by Chenault revealed that the, quote, photo was AI generated via ChatGPT. According to the arrest report, additionally, the photo was found in a deleted folder dated days before she alleged a sexual battery took place. Chenault, seen above, was arrested by falsely reporting a crime. She spent a night in jail before posting a $1,000 bond. Slap on the wrist. But let it be some Jake that they find and say, yeah, we got you on camera. We got the picture. We got the video. We saw you do it. You're dead to rights. And the brother like, man, what are you talking about, man? I was at work that day. Bullshit, nigga. You out of here. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, we are guilty until proven innocent, not the other way around. And Esau's out here tampering with new technology, man, to create false claims. And I don't know what she, what the picture was. If it was white, black, I don't know. However, I do know that their nature. They will weaponize it against Jace. Look at this. Police warn against pranking people with AI images of a homeless intruder. Law enforcement departments in several states said that an online trend in which people are tricked into believing a homeless man is in their homes could have dangerous consequences. See, they're all online, man, weaponizing this beast system, man, and this imagery, man, to create false narratives and deceptions, man. This is how you know this thing is powered by Satan. Wild stuff going on, man. Wild stuff going on. Auto loan delinquencies jumped 50% as car prices reach new heights. Car loans have gone from the safest consumer credit products to among the riskiest in the last 15 years. Delinquencies rose more than 50%. More than 50% raised up of people who were unable to pay them car notes, man. Yeah, it was all good just a week ago. People was getting them stimulus checks and EDD was kicking in, the PPP was, you bought that new car, man. You said, man, the money's never going to stop flowing, man. Slow Biden was out there printing up money. You went and got the new car. You figure, yeah, I could pay the $900, car note. I'm working overtime. Oh, you got laid off. Job gone, huh? Can't pay that no more. Oh, your baby dad, you was getting child support, the extra little check. He keeps kicking in, sending money. Oh, he got fired. He got laid off. Oh, that's not happening no more. See, people were living beyond their means, doing too much. And even if he wasn't, it could have just been out of necessity. Hey, I need another car, man. My car broke down. It's over with. The way that these car loans were, the interest rates, all these cars are overvalued. We all know once you leave the lot, you already lose your depreciated value. They said that the average new car right now costs us $50,000. $50,000. The average new car costs. You're advertising that to people where 7 out of 10 people are living check to check. 60% don't have $500 saved up in case of emergency. You got hundreds of thousands that just got laid off of furlough out the government, let alone the jobless claims within the last 2 months of going down and down. Ain't no jobs out there. You just seen Dollar General's already experimenting with cameras and AI to replace even the service industry jobs. So no wonder there's a 50% rise in delinquencies and people unable to pay their car notes. Now look at this. Speaking of the markets crashing, remember I said earlier they were talking about the manipulation of the markets and the crypto and all that? There are people, man, that lost millions of dollars within the last week. Look at this guy. Crypto trader found dead in a Lamborghini in Kiev as market plunges. Cryptology Key co-founder found dead day after sharing farewell messages with family members. They said this guy unalived himself because of all of the losses. Sound familiar? If y'all remember, I just re-uploaded a lesson I did regarding inflation. What was the name of it? Inflation preparedness and something else, right? I was paralleling the quote unquote roaring 20s in comparison to the new millennial 20th century, right? Roaring 20s of 1919 all the way to 1930, 32, all the way to 2020 or 2019 on up, and seeing how those things greatly parallel themselves. Now look at this. During the Great Depression, unaliving rates or self-inflicted unaliving rates in the United States increased significantly, with a notable rise attributed to the economic hardships and high unemployment. Does that sound familiar to you? Not saying that that's what's going on right now, but look, 1928 to 1932 is when the numbers really got severe and impacted, right? So we've got less than 3 years before this marker, less than 7 to this one, right? But you're starting to see all of the reasons: economic hardships, high unemployment, all were the reasons why. That's how you know the resiliency of the Israelites. You know, we're used to these particular conditions and trying to figure it out. After 400 plus years of oppression and slavery and lies and this, we figured out we're survivors. Stock market crash, man. Them cats was jumping out of windows, popping their heads, doing all kind of stuff. Now you're seeing echoing of that happen. This guy lost millions of dollars through his crypto and said, "Man, I can't even deal with it. I'm out of here." Don't be surprised if you see more of the way they keep messing with them crypto markets, man. The people losing stuff at the push of a button overnight. Fortunes could be lost because it's on the digital ledger, man. Can't nobody see or touch. If it ain't in your hands, man, like I said, man, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Right? New strain of Mpox virus that is more severe and easily spread, found in the major U.S. city. Yeah, out here in California, they talking about a new breakout of the quote unquote Mpox, formerly monkeypox. They keep, readjusting the names and make people think it's something different. And then this is the sodomite community pretty hard, and some others. But the violence, the pestilence that's still plaguing this place. Who knows what else is on the rise, right? We know that there's more disease and disease and pestilence that's coming out here, let alone the famines. But out here in LA, they're worried about an Mpox strain coming up, man. That's why the Lord said, man, hey, the man lie with mankind like he should be with a woman, both of them should be put to death. This severely hits the sodomites because it's sexually transmitted through that type of Hershey Highway play. You know what I'm talking about? And not even that, if somebody has it, still contagious, even, just in general contact in the house. You dwelling with somebody, or they out here playing around doing something, they bring it home, and it's wild out here, man. That's why we gotta stick with these laws, man, keep things under control. Because the Lord is definitely judging this place. Lord is judging this place, man. So with that being said, Lord willing, everybody got some edification today. It was good to be back again, seeing y'all online, seeing the fam online, man. Even though that they're suppressing and pushing in the algorithm of trying to get us out the sphere and say, man, get up out of here. We don't need that, man. I appreciate y'all's support. We'll be back again around 4:15 for our closing Shabbat class, man. Join us if you will. If you haven't already, man, make sure you wipe your feet on your way out. So that the algorithm can be notified that, yes, they ain't stopped over here. They definitely still moving. All right. So with that being said, man, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and don't shoot the messenger.